What's up, guys? I apologize if I sound a little bit sick, but it's because I am. You know, that's why actually you're not getting a vlog this weekend. I'm getting off over a horrible sickness, and I'm also working overtime at work, so it's just been really crazy for me. But I wanted to get a video out, and I thought, what better time than to do this video about affording your dream car. And, you know, I want to say, first of all, before you click off this video, because I know a million people have done this, you know, I'm not going to clickbait you, and I'm actually going to give you realistic information on how to actually afford your dream car. I'm not going to give you these vague things like you need to read books and you need to do this. No, I'm going to tell you how in your life, you know, no matter what your situation, you can get to where you want to be. You know, and let's start out, you know, some of that's your career and your job. You know, how much do you make and what kind of car are you looking for? You know, in this video, we're going to use, for an example, $60,000 a year, which isn't the lowest amount, but it's also not the highest amount. You know, this can be adjusted up and down based on values of cars and incomes. So, you know, kind of look at what I'm saying here, and I want you to just apply this to your own situation and figure out, can you do it? And if not, I'm going to tell you how to do it. So, you know, to start with, you know, you have that $60,000 a year income, and you have that $100,000 car, that $90,000 car. First gen Gallardos are right around that price. You know, they're not going to depreciate because they carry the Lamborghini name. So right now, mileage really doesn't matter anymore. There's not too many low mile ones, and those ones are going for upwards of 100, but still not that much. So, you know, a first gen Gallardo, you know, that's something that's attainable in a reasonable salary. And, you know, everybody goes, well, how do you do that? You know, everybody thinks you need to be a millionaire to own a Lamborghini, or that you need to make 6 figures a year. No, you can do it making $60,000 a year. Now, you know, I want you to think about something. You know, $90,000, $100,000, you know, there's a lot of people out there driving $60,000, $70,000 Mercedes on a $60,000 a year income. Those cars really aren't that much more. So, for example, if I was to take 20% down, because that's a good number that people like to see, that lenders love to see when you're actually trying to buy a car and you're trying to finance it. 20% down is a great number, and under 20% of your monthly income is also a great number, assuming that you have under 20% of the income or around 20% free every month. You know, you don't want to be getting into a car payment that costs you 20% of your monthly income if you really only have 10% after the rest of your bills. But that's just basic logic. You know, the 20-20 rule, that's a great rule to go by. Obviously, if you can put more down and then bring that second number down, you know, 20-20 is where you want to be, but you can also go like 40-16. You know, 40% down, 16% of your monthly income. But it has to be income that you have free. And, you know, a lot of people don't realize that even supercars, you can find places that will lend you money rather than just like a 5-year loan, like a 72-month loan. You can actually get it for 120 months because it's a supercar, and there's lenders that will do that. And usually, if you can get approved through those lenders, you're going to get a good rate. So if you're talking about that with like a 2.5 up to 3.5% APR over 10 years, you know, you're talking about 120 payments to pay back if you buy a $90,000 car, or we'll call it $100,000, just so we can say $20,000 down for the sake of numbers. But if you're buying a $100,000 car, and then you have 120 payments to pay back $80,000, you know, do the math. It's really not too bad, but at the same time, you need to consider, you know, what do your other bills look like? You know, there are people who live in reasonable houses and have expensive cars. If you're like me, you know, my mentality is, I don't need a mansion to go with my nice cars. I just need nice cars because, you know, when I'm not in my cars, I'm usually at home sleeping. And I can sleep in a bedroom that's 5,000 square feet, or I can sleep in a bedroom that's 20 by 20 square feet, and it really doesn't matter. You know, you don't have to have everything the best in your life, you know, and that's a really good thing when you're trying to afford your dream car, or when you're trying to afford really anything in your life. That could apply to anything. You know, do you need a big house? Well, if you're a car guy like me, you're always out in your car. No, I don't need a big house. I need a big garage is what I need, but I really just need a livable sized house. And, you know, be practical with it. You can always upgrade down the road. You know, you pay off a house, it's got equity. It's not like a car, it doesn't depreciate unless you don't upkeep it. And, you know, if you do a little bit of stuff to it on the side, you can actually up the value of the house, sell it, get some money back, use that to put a down payment on a bigger house. I mean, you can work your way up with houses because of equity, because that equity stays. But the one thing that you don't want to do is put yourself in a position where you're trying to buy everything all at once and you're just running yourself out of money. So, you know, go ahead and put that 20% down on that car and keep it under 20% of your monthly income. And if you have to, if you really want that car bad enough, we'll use that Lamborghini again for example. If you want that Lamborghini, put that 20% down, keep it under 20% of your monthly income. Maybe you don't have the biggest house, but you get the car and you get a house that you can afford, and you work and you pay off that house and you sell it down the road, and you can, you know, use that money you sell it for, especially if the loan's paid off. Anything that you sell it for is in your pocket as a down payment on a bigger house. So, I mean, you can get there if you want to. Does it happen overnight? No. You know, can it happen overnight? Yes. But a lot of these guys on YouTube, I've watched these videos too. I think we all have. You see somebody with a good title or a good thumbnail, and you're like, you know, maybe if I don't watch this, I'll never learn this secret they have to share about how to afford this or how to afford that. And at the end of the day, you walk away from it with very vague answers. So, you know, I hope that so far I've given you good answers. You know, here's numbers that you can use. So, you know, what happens if you don't quite make that $60,000 a year? Well, you know, I never went to college. I'm 25 years old, and now I'm doing really well for my age. Better than a lot of people I know. Better than a lot of people I know who went to college. And, you know, what it comes down to is, you know, working. You know, and I hate to say that, but, you know, you go to work every day, okay? And you're there for 8 hours a day. Now, some people, they want to do the minimum to get by at work. And, you know, that's great. And maybe you get your yearly raise because you're doing what's expected of you. And maybe it's not a whole lot, but it's still a raise, and you're still getting some money. But if you're there for 8 hours a day, why not work as hard as you can for those 8 hours? Because that gets noticed. But what really got me where I am was taking that mentality of, you know, work as hard as you can, and it does get noticed. Whether it gets noticed at the job you're at, or whether it gets noticed by your next potential employer during an interview, that you went above and beyond for no extra compensation, for no raise, for nothing else, not even a title. Maybe you get nothing out of it now, but you'll get something out of it later. There's a good way to get a job to afford the stuff that you want to buy. You know, think about that when you're going to look to buy a car. You know, what do you need in life? Can you cut things out of your life that you don't need in order to have the things that you want? You know, can you afford what you have? You know, be realistic with it. And if you can't afford it, how do you get there? You know, there's always a way to where you want to be. You just have to find it. And I think that's a really important lesson that we can all learn, and that I'm still learning, is that every time I think I can't, I really can. So what I want you guys to remember from this video is that, you know, there's ways to get where you want to be in life, and there's realistic ways to do it. There's not secrets. There's no tricks. You know, maybe there is, but maybe I don't know them. You know, if there are, I don't know all these tricks. I don't have this super privileged life where I can just do whatever I want and afford whatever I want. I have to work for it too, just like you guys. I couldn't afford to go to college, and now look at me. You know, I think I'm doing pretty okay here. So, you know, I hope this video helps, and I hope that you learn something from this that you can actually use, instead of it being another clickbait video, because, you know, these tips that I'm giving you are the same ones that I use myself. You know, and I know there's different challenges if you're trying to get your first car loan. Maybe your dream car isn't anything super expensive, but you can't get that loan. You know, and if you guys want to, if you're in that position and you really want to learn about it, you know, let me know down below. And I'll teach you how I did it, because I was there too. No cosign or no credit. Didn't make a whole lot, but I got a car loan, and I got a sports car. My first car that I got for myself that was on loan was a sports car. Not this car, not something quite this nice, but it was there, and I drove it, and I had a lot of fun with it. It was fast, and it was stick, and I had so much fun that it was worth everything I went through to get it. You know, and now that's also set me up in a better spot for the rest of my life. So, you know, this weekend, I'm actually going to be putting this car away. And, you know, there's going to be stuff to come for the winter. You know, again, I apologize that today's video was just another informational video and not a vlog. I am still sick. And, you know, this weekend, hopefully I'm feeling better. Even if I'm not, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do this vlog, because I do have something exciting to come for winter. And when this car goes away, there will be something else really fun that we can have fun with, that I can share with you guys, that I can take you on another journey with until the springtime again. So, you know, I hope once again that this video helps you in some way. Take care and have a great day.